All right, guys, we are back, and I want to talk to you guys for a minute. I know I haven't been making a whole lot of content since I've been back from the Dominican Republic, and the reason is because of this situation that's been going on with the PBC, Errol Spence Jr., Terence Bud Crawford. I gotta say it. The politics of boxing as of late have left a sour taste in my mouth. And I'm a guy, I love boxing. I love to watch boxing. Uh, and I will say last year, let's look at last year. Last year was a phenomenal year for the sport of boxing. We got a lot of great fights across, all the platforms, to be honest with you guys. But I think the PBC did it the best last year. But the thing that troubles me the most about that is the fact that Showtime had to get rid of the PBC for us to actually get those fights. So in the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping this year would be different. I was kind of hoping the PBC would say, you know, maybe we should give the fans what they want. Maybe we should give them the fights that they want. But I have to be honest, this year, so far, they've only had one pay-per-view, but I would say this year in boxing in general has been off to a rocky start. And the PBC, even though I don't have, I'm not biased against the PBC. I've spent a lot of money going to the PBC fights. I have PBC merchandise. But I will say this. They have really disappointed me with this Errol Spence Jr., Terence Bud Crawford situation that's going on. They really have. And I have to keep it real with you guys. Even though I support them, I still have to be honest with the way I feel about how this situation looks like it's been playing out. And you guys know Sebastian Fundora became the new unified champion, defeating Tim Tszyu last weekend. Now, I did talk about how I felt like Sebastian Fundora didn't deserve a shot at the title because he was knocked out by Brian Mendoza. He really didn't deserve a title shot, but they gave it to him anyway. And, it is what it is. Now, they're trying to do the same thing with Errol. They want Errol to leapfrog Terence Bud Crawford and get a shot at the title. And in my opinion, this is what stinks. Rewarding the guy who lost. When do we start doing that? When do we start rewarding the loser of fights and the winner of the fights gets blackballed? That's what bothers me about the sport of boxing. There is no integrity. There's no oversight. Terence Bud Crawford defeated Errol Spence Jr. in dramatic fashion, I may add. He became the undisputed champion at 147. So he activates his WBO Super Champ status to get the winner of Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora. Then you have Errol jumping in the ring saying that, he wants next. And the PBC is trying to make that happen by, trying to screw Terence Bud Crawford. So the WBO orders the fight between Terence Bud Crawford and Sebastian Fundora. They gave him, I think, 25 days to negotiate a fight, or it was going to go to purse bid. Now all of a sudden, Sebastian Fundora's team wants to face Tim Tszyu next in the rematch. So there's another way of them to swerve around Terence Bud Crawford. Now I know both of the guys were injured, so it's probably going to be a while. Sebastian Fundora, I think he injured his nose. Of course, Tim Tszyu had the big hole in his head. So now Terence Bud Crawford, is out again. So they found another way to try to stall him out. And I think it's absolutely despicable. So now you have Errol without a fight. Now you have Terence Bud Crawford without a fight. And I hear a lot of people pushing maybe they should do the rematch. I don't know. Should they do the rematch? I'm not sure. It was such a one-sided fight. Would people really be interested in that? And even if it's at 154, I still think Terence Bud Crawford easily beats Errol Spence Jr. because there's such a wide skill gap, in my opinion. It's a wide skill gap. I think Errol still loses that fight. I don't even know if Errol really wants that fight. He's He's not really pushing for it. We haven't heard him vocally pushing for that fight. And Terence Bud Crawford, let's face it, it does nothing for the goals he's trying to accomplish. His goal is to become a champion in a 4th weight class. The ultimate goal is to become undisputed in a 3rd weight class. So a fight with Errol Spence Jr. does nothing for him unless he's going to look at that fight as a tune-up. But like I said, the PBC playing these games, and I think the PBC fears Terence Bud Crawford. They're ducking Terence Bud Crawford because, you know, he's messing up their plans. They have this plan here, and he's like a thorn in their side, messing up their plans because he's just that damn good. But he deserves the title shot, in my opinion. You know, so they're going to do everything they can to block him out. And that's what I hate about the sport of boxing. All these dirty games and politics. The guy that deserves it, the guy that's worked hard for it, the guy that's winning the fights is getting the most shit from the platform. And then some of these fans out here are condoning this mess because they feel some type of way about Crawford defeating Errol Spence Jr. Let me say this. If you're one of those guys that's complaining about Canelo Alvarez and all the ducking and things like that you see him doing, but then at the same time you turn around and condone what the PBC and what Errol Spence Jr. is trying to do, you're part of the problem. You are part of the problem. You are not keeping the same energy. And let me say this. Let's just say it was the other way around. Let's just say if Terence Bud Crawford got stopped by Errol Spence Jr. and he was going to 154 and then Crawford tried to leapfrog him, I would be saying the same thing. Because I think things should be fair in boxing. Things should be fair in boxing. We shouldn't be playing favoritism in boxing. I get it. Errol Spence Jr. signed to the PBC, but right is only right. They should be following their own damn rules. There shouldn't be all these loopholes and things like that for, you know, fighters to take shortcuts. Things should be done a certain way. And they should be done a certain way across the board. And we're not getting that. You know, we're getting what these platforms want to give us. You know, they don't want to give you what you want. They want to give you what they want. And this is what bothers me so much. And this is why this year's been off to a rocky start. And this is why, you know, I haven't been making videos as of late because I'm just disillusioned by this. Now, will I ever stop loving the sport of boxing? Of course not. You know, I had to take some time away because I just could not make content because, you know, I just felt disgusted, guys. I just felt disgusted with what I see going on and disgusted with some way some of the fans are just condoning this stuff. You know, this is why these platforms are able to do to us what they do. Because fans condone bullshit. You know, if it's their favorite fighter, they condone it. They don't have any integrity. You don't have any integrity. And it bothers me. Because I'm a guy, I'm all about integrity. And like I said, I think things should be fair in the sport of boxing. I think they can make it that way, but they don't want to make it that way. You know, they want to be able to screw the hardcore fan. They want to be able to do what they want, give you mediocre fights and make a lot of money. That's what they want to do. But anyway, that's my take on it. We're just going to have to let this play out, see what happens next. You know, there are 2 other belts out there. I think IBF and the WBA. I think they're both vacant right now. Maybe Terence Bud Crawford could go that route. I think he still can become a champion at 154. I still think he can probably become undisputed at 154, but there's going to be a lot of obstacles because the PBC is going to make it hard for him because he's not signed to them. And I think that is the issue. You know, they want to be able to control what he does, and he wants to be a free agent. But we'll see. We'll let it play out. We'll see what happens next. But anyway, you guys let me know how you feel about this whole situation in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.